Some of the fundamental issues that we report to see today in the practice with the same situation. 12 years, student protest here, protest here in this country with Ellen Johnson said he was president of this country. On the same situation, the rescue mission will go break. After 6 years, they come back to power again, and then they cannot address the issue. It means that the rescue mission is going nowhere. They don't have anything to do with this country.
What they are forced, we see the police trying to hold conversation with them, asking them to leave the main rights for the fact that they want to either have some level of resolution with regards to what they are doing. Is there something that you see not prudent at the moment?
I think the students started doing something. I think the students have died of right? So at this moment, the students need to address the situation. And that is the reason why the students come out to protest. Whenever in the society we see students come out to the street to protest, obviously the students have a plan all of the method to ensure that this situation be addressed before it can explode. You understand what I'm saying? So to see the students coming out here today, it means that the students need an immediate address. So for the students to have an immediate address, obviously the students say they have a petition that they want to address to the lawmakers of this country. And if the lawmakers cannot come here, obviously they won't leave the street.
But the lawmakers are on break, are you aware?
Oh, but then obviously I guess they are following, right? I guess they are following. They are mainstream weeks, like the same people here to receive the student petition. But I don't think the police are the right people to receive the petition of the students. And that is the reason why the students are insisting that there should be a representative for the lawmaker that will come here to receive the petition of the students. And I believe the students are right. The students are never wrong, and the students can never be wrong.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for talking to us.
So, folks, we like to set up Liberia. Folks, it is what it is here. So, the US, wherever you are,
it is causing a lot of problems at the moment.
Yeah, it is causing a lot of problems, and the delays are, because of the season of the students who talk. With them running behind them since the morning, them wanting to leave with the leadership, but very adamant and they don't be able to let speak with anyone. But eventually, they will all calm down and have conversation with us. After that conversation, I think the current deal is standing here waiting for the person to come.
What somebody may come, though you from the Ministry of Education, but somebody will say that this matter that the teacher had a press conference announcing the amount that they were abandoning classes, and you know the trickle-down effect could be where the students will say, yes, since there are no teacher coming in the class, the next thing for us to do is to take onto the street. What have been the intervention so far with the Ministry of Education and that of the teacher? So that it doesn't come this far.
MCSS is autonomous, even though it's somehow one. So the Ministry of Education has to engage us. What we found out from our initial engagement is that these students just had their meeting, the teachers just had their meeting this whole weekend. On Friday, they had a couple of things on their list as to why they were going slow. And from Friday, they decided to go slow on Monday. So we just found out on Monday. So there's an engagement going on between the Ministry of MCSS. One thing I want to make clear is I'm seeing all the factors of this thing that the way their teachers pay. I'm going to make this clear today that MCSS, nor the Ministry of Education, doesn't pay any teacher. So there must be some misinformation that's going to these students. Somebody is between the students coming here, because if I'm seeing on your placard that you want your teachers to be paid, and I know that I'm a teacher, I'm not going to instance you are only teachers, then I know that somebody is giving misinformation to the students. And that's wrong. Because if there's an issue with teachers and administration, I don't think you can put the students in the middle of it. Right?
So you see, as and they still remain sitting on the ground. They are not
So the police are retaliating on the students to leave the road, not to do so by their leaders. So right before the police, after the police.
Welcome the teachers. Yo, voice of the country. Yo. Amana. Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Well, I would like to take this time to welcome you to this sacred revolutionary conference hall. And we would also like to state clearly that the second to the last song that was sung here today is being dedicated to the students. I would like to quickly recognize the presence of the 17 electoral district youth leaders who are here present. I would also like to recognize members in the National Executive Committee of Montserrat. Permit me this time to quickly recognize the Vice Chair for Human Resource, Leader Christopher B. Kenneth. Permit me to recognize the Vice Chair for Legal and Governmental Affairs, Leader Duff O'Neill Robert. Permit me also to quickly recognize the Vice Chair for Mobilization and Recruitment, Leader Charles Bobby Morris. Forward. Today's press conference intended to be very brief and to the point. But I would like to propose a bit on the character I'm about to introduce, his fearless revolutionary credential in history. The man I'm about to introduce is one of Liberia's finest sons. A man who was PhD in urban guerrilla warfare, a Doctor of Science degree in student advocacy, and also a master degree in English.
What?
The man I'm about to introduce today is the man who introduced student struggle amongst the young people of this country. That today thousands of students can master the courage and take on the regime demanding their rights. This is something this character has done for years. This character I'm about to introduce is the father of the Feast Must Fall Revolution in Liberia.
Manda! Don't live, free tuition, don't live. Free tuition, don't live.
Say yo, don't be this student, say yo.
And it is always advocated today that Liberia as a nation enjoys the free tuition policy instituted by Dr. George President Weekie.
Manda! Forward! We are trying to forward! Say yo! Master Party, say yo!
Comrade, at this time I would like to instruct the ground forces, men at the barricade, to ensure that all of the entrances leading to this sacred hall is protected and well guarded. At this time, I would like to zoom in the official spokesperson of today, the official messenger of today, the man who will deliver to you the milky message of the Revolutionary National Youth League. And that person is no other person but the vice chair for Operation/Political Education at the Revolutionary National Youth League of the Indomitable Martyr Congress for Democratic Change.
Welcome, folks. You follow us on Cool 9.
I'll let us meditate.
Live, Kid News, Cool as well, and YouTube. You can follow us on channel 2, YouTube. Yes, welcome, folks. Let's have a good time together where we walk the walk and talk the talk. And as usual, I have to shift the paradigm about democracy. Without fear, without favor, we speak undiluted truth. The very hard truth I said on this platform, folks. It promises to be good as usual. Very, very stimulative and thought-provoking as we discuss critical national issues on this platform. We bring you all of the training events at your doorsteps, your business center, your offices, your cars, whatever you are. We'd like to say good morning and welcome. Let's take this break and be right back this morning.
To say, as I invite to this podium, Fidel Castro.
I'm calling for the president of the Football Association to resign. So that's why I've been here since this morning as journalists. We've been waiting to see the arrival. But before we could see the arrival of soup, we witnessed police, and some able parliament out of the post that don't know for what reason. Maybe probably they have come to force to eat or walk around. We witnessed the president of the Liberian National Police. And we stay here at the headquarters of the Football Association.
So looking at this, have the LFA president addressed that concern? Because I know they have accused him of several allegations. Have he met these guys to address these concerns?
I think if the president did
address the guys about said situation, I think they wouldn't have returned here today. They wouldn't have returned here today. They still here today. Maybe it only shows that the president of the Football Association is there to respond to them or to talk to them. That's why they're here. Okay. So, folks, I think they're about to speak to the press. So.
You wanna know about the story of my life? So please don't judge me. If you love me, she's a fool of my heart. Mustafa Raji is a corrupt criminal. We'll bring you to your end, yo. And I started the LFA, said, I'm in Liberia, yo. It's in Nigerian bizarre, yo. Do George or yo. Any pure, pure, you get tired, yo. People deserve better, yo. Resta never tend to say. Resta never tend to say. Resta never tend to say. Power Raji. Say yo. Raji is unscrupulous elements. Say yo.
And it's always good to have you join in the conversation. As usual, from the city of Pins in Montserrat, Liberia. Welcome, folks. To all of you, thanks so much for watching, leaving all of your comments. We'll certainly try to read all of your comments this morning. When the lines are activated, you will have the chance to weigh in on this edition of the Morning Ride. Folks, there are a lot of things to talk about. You know, we have had this long-standing issue at the 55th National Legislature, which seems not to show any sign of ending. But today, Liberians will be hoping and waiting to hear from the Supreme Court on the full interpretation of the Constitution in the impasse there at the House of Representatives. Since October of last year, we have had this thing. There are folks who have come from outside of Liberia, ECOWAS against a delegation which were escorted out of the grounds of the Capitol building at the British Protocol, so there was no way to have them mediating into the matter. And today, Liberians are watching the drama from the Supreme Court. What the Supreme Court comes in to say today, as to whether the Supreme Court will say, oh yes, Honorable Richard Coon, you are the Speaker. Or Honorable Richard Coon, you are not. So Liberians are waiting to hear a clear, full interpretation today. Some legal luminaries have been speaking on this matter. We tried to get some of them on the platform, but we could not, based on their busy schedule. To tell it, because there are folks who say, even including the president of the Liberia National Bar Association, that the first interpretation from the Supreme Court, including former President Ellen Johnson, believed that it was too ambiguous, they were not being clear, and they left Liberians in doubt. We saw the two parties celebrating the majority black and rule of law caucus, also celebrating the ruling or what interpretation that came from the court, meaning they needed to celebrate, and the both parties celebrated. And the Minister of Justice, the Attorney General of Liberia, Oswald Toy, also made his own interpretation, which people say was not right and was wrongly interpreted, and to advise the president in such form and manner. But this is where we are today. We have had a lot of crises in our country where people have come from abroad to talk to parties involved, wanting to have the school settled and say, look, you people got to lead this thing, and we cannot continue to be in that light. There's a need to smoke the peace pipe. So on Monday, ECOWAS delegation met members of the 55th National Legislature, especially the lower house. But the majority black rejected the delegates from the ECOWAS and citing a serious breach of protocol according to them. And it resulted in the delegation being escorted out of the building. So who comes in to talk to us now when we are member of this August body and we are having crisis? The oldest republic in Africa, a founding member of ECOWAS, of which the foundation of AU, ECOWAS, Liberia is the brainchild. And people will come to us to see how best we can sit on the round table and look at some of these things. Is it a major contradiction that we're having at ourselves? Because quite recently, we had this 3-day retreat in the name of reconciliation, fostering unity, transparency, and accountability at the Farmington Hotel, of which we invited some of our colleagues from the ECOWAS Black, Sierra Leone, Ghana. Then we listened to the Ghanaian speaker talking about the issue of rule of law. And if we will find ECOWAS coming to get involved into the matter and say, look, can we resolve this matter? Because as it stands, there is no if and end about it. Nobody recognizes who is the Speaker of Liberia any longer. That dignity and morale is not there as one would think. We have had a number of lawmakers that have been suspended from the lower house. And their folks that they represent are complaining that their presence are not felt, while other districts are represented by the lawmakers and issues being discussed on road, electricity, education, health, sanitation, security, and all of these things. The district seems to be abandoning the lawmaker being suspended. Some of the lawmakers' suspension being extended, including that of the battle speaker, Francis Kofa, also received suspension. While he's battering to prove his legitimacy as speaker, that he was illegally removed, and being a lawyer have taken a case, he filed a bit of information at the Supreme Court, of which Liberians are now waiting to hear today. What comes out of the Supreme Court? What will they say? This is a very key moment now in Liberia. Will we go back to undo all of what has been done? While Richard Cohn is claiming the speakership position, the budget being discussed and passed, people being changed for committee. We went on to recall people from the ECOWAS parliament, and that was rejected by ECOWAS. It says the reason why we now rejecting ECOWAS coming to mediate into the crisis and have this matter. You know, this is not just an ordinary country. This is the oldest country in Africa. The country that set the foundation for all of the other countries to see how best they can get their sovereignty, to be independent. But today, we are now saying, oh, we can't agree. We don't want it. We don't want ECOWAS involvement into this matter. But during the war, there were a lot of folks from the Gambia, Guinea, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Ghana, who came here to stabilize the peace, to ask us to lay down our arms when we have warring factions. Some of the people never returned to the country. They died right on this soil. The family never saw them returning. And today ECOWAS is now coming to say, oh yeah, let's see how best we can sit on the round table and have this matter resolved. And now they say, oh yeah, they put delegation arrived unannounced, without the courtesy of informing Speaker Richard Cohn in advance. And we all heard that ECOWAS delegation are coming, so I don't know how they really wanted it. You know, sometimes for expediency, sometimes some of these things, people will get involved into it in a rush. They say, look, we can't continue to sit and just watch what's happening in Liberia. I found sometimes you hear people pointing finger at the president. That's a separate branch of government there. What are the decisions today for the Supreme Court will be respected by both parties, whether they will accept the outcome, the full interpretation. But people are saying they're hoping that the Supreme Court will not be ambiguous in her interpretation. We are into a constitutional crisis and no other person can give her a clear interpretation of the Constitution other than the Supreme Court that will get a ruling or a clear interpretation that will be respected and say yes, we all can return to business and move Liberia forward. Because this is the very same Supreme Court when people are having issues for some of the lower courts when rulings are brought down, when they are dissatisfied, they seek intervention and interpretation from the Supreme Court. But today, we are hearing people say, oh, the Supreme Court cannot melt into this matter. And if you read the Constitution of Liberia, it tells you all of the laws in Liberia must be in conformity with the Constitution. Because there is no law that supersedes the Constitution of Liberia. But we are hearing all of the different interpretations. We hope some of the legal people can phone in this morning. According to some members of the House of Representatives, the ECOWAS delegation arrived at the grounds of the Capitol building unannounced, without, according to them, the courtesy of informing Speaker Richard Coon's office in advance. That's what they said. We are told that when the delegation arrived at the Speaker's office, they refer to him as Honorable Coon. Is he not honorable? Rather than acknowledging the fact that he's the Speaker. So, as far as concerned, it was being very respectful to the Speaker. That's a title. The very first thing in becoming Speaker, you must be elected by your people to represent them. And among your peers, they will elect you as the Speaker. Can we now say it was a waste, taking taxpayer money to have gone for a 3-day retreat in the name of reconciliation? And we are seeing a body that we have part and parcel, a founding member that we today are showing people, rejecting them because they are not attaching the title to you. When the folks already aware, the matter has not been resolved. Nobody willing to bring down the sugar in terms of smoking the peace pipe. How do we settle this matter? This is becoming embarrassing to the country. We've gone months on the leadership crisis at the lower house. We saw the Supreme Court give an interpretation of Charles Varro that the majority bloc were proceeding wrongly. What would they say today? Would the majority bloc accept, or the fact now that you see Honorable Richard Coon has already burst into the battle speaker office, and it's where he's now running the day-to-day affairs of the speakership. We have seen vehicle that was burst into, removed because it was parked in the parking lot allotted to the speaker. On Richard Coon now being paid as speaker, a budget in allocation in the national budget for his office. So what happens if the Supreme Court rule that, look, you are not the speaker because you assume office outside of the legal process, or you are? He said, look, Honorable Fanatic Kofa, your colleagues no longer have the trust and credibility in you to stir the affairs of the lower house as a speaker. So you need to take a break and focus on your representation by your people as a representative. It is a major concern today. We are at the make or break period. Or, in order to say, look, or the Supreme Court might be thinking, look, we would not say Coon is not the speaker. Because saying that, meaning all of what he has done under his stewardship as speaker currently, we have to revert and start over. We will go back to bring the budget to discuss it. Will there be restitution? Money that today he's using as speaker, being paid as speaker? Will he restitute? Will we now say, Lord, we will give Fanatic Kofa back all of what he entitled to? Or we continue to say, Lord, or will the Supreme Court again tell our lawmakers from the lower house to go back and read the rules, the House Senate rules? Will they be clear today to make sure that we do not have these things as issues that will just be looked at? We are seeing a lot of pressing issues. Students are protesting. And these are issues that should claim the attention of our lawmakers. How do we settle this matter? Now they're saying the ECOWAS delegation breached protocol. The chairman on Foreign Affairs, Gigante, he said the delegation from ECOWAS breached protocol, and the Speaker of Office should have been informed. Granted, and the delegation should have followed proper channel. They arrived without notice, and their actions show a lack of respect, according to them, to the offices of the Speaker and that of the lower house. You know, sometimes when people see certain matter and require people getting involved and see how best they can talk some of these things, sometimes it don't require all of these things. We saw how the Capitol building got burned. A place that was built for us, where legislative politics, where key decisions are made in our body politics of our country. We are still undergoing investigation about to renovate the area. The world was shocked, and it then treated as awesome attack. That it was intentional, there was no electrical fault. We asked our international partners to help us in the investigation. They came, we saw some fire expert for the United States who also did an investigation and was able to declare and state that yes, indeed, the fire was intentional. It was also an attack. There was no electrical fault there. And this is where we now find ourselves. Folks, welcome to this edition of the Morning Ride. Wherever you are, this is how I would like to welcome you on this edition of the Morning Ride. Let's take this break to be right back this morning.
Comrades and friends, progressive journalist, conscious Republic of Liberia. Today, we have a summer year in fulfillment of Article 17 of the 1986 Constitution. To make it emphatically clear to football enthusiasts and the general Liberian body, football under the administration of Mustafa Rajay had declared on the dustbin of corruption, administrative ineptitude, and inconsistent violation with the Chapter and Arts Football Association. I want to say this. Today is our second assembly year. There will be numerous of assembly in making sure that a Nigerian foster who have refused to make known his nationality, the individual who has assumed corrupt, embezzle money that is intended to improve football in this country. That's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say. Mustafa Rajay. So that Bukwa is a criminal. Yo. To make sure that Mustafa Rajay resign as president of the LFA. For those of you that question the Student Unification Party stand in footballing activities in Liberia, we firstly want to remind you that we are all Liberians. If football in this country declare, we Liberians will be the one that will feel the trickle-down effects and impact of the decline of football in Liberia. Being a Liberian gave us our right to make sure we err and identify contradiction where need be. We have seen multitudes and multiplicity of contradictions being emanating in corridor of the LFA.
Now the majority bloc, they are now saying it is not as been reported. The delegation also met with Funatiku for the rule of law caucus. How do we end this entire matter? How do we end this entire matter? Because there's a need to have this matter resolved. And this is what they wrote. He said the office of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Richard Nangwe-Kun, wishes to address and correct the false claims circulated in certain segment of the LIBERIA regarding the engagement with the House of Representatives and the ECOWAS delegation. Contrary to reports suggesting that Speaker Kun received the delegation with hostility, insulted them, and subsequently ejected them from his office, we unequivocally denounce these allegations as blatant falsehood. These claims not only misrepresent the nature of the engagement between the ECOWAS and the House of Representatives and ECOWAS delegation, but also undermine the spirit of cooperation between Liberia and the Economic Community of West African States. The meeting was scheduled between the House Foreign Affairs Committee and the ECOWAS delegation, and it was conducted in a professional and respectful manner, with the House and the ECOWAS delegation engaging in constructive dialogue concerning vital issue of mutual interest. We urge now. Speaker, they said the office of the Speaker remains dedicated to transparency and accountability. So we keep hearing these things. We keep hearing these things. Oh yeah. Transparency and accountability. When will we have the House or the legislature audited? That people, because they have always spoken about, oh, transparency and accountability, but nobody sees that. Nobody sees all of these things. What's your take as it relates to what to be the outcome today from the House of Representatives? All of these things are things that we usually talk about. Looking at these things, where do our country go from here? How are we going to do it? And these are some of the issues that are on the table this morning to talk about. We'll look at some issues concerning drugs this morning. We'll look at the student protest, and we'll look at the press conference that was held by the CDC National Youth League. We'll give you full warning and you have a say on this matter. What are we on the right path? What are we have reconciled ourselves as Liberian after the elections? Because there are people who still carry rights. There are people who still believe that some of these things are still happening. And there are folks who believe we are not on the right path. Folks, this is Liberia. This is where we are, and looking at what will take place today. Liberians are all ears. We don't want to prejudice the outcome of the ruling from Supreme Court. But in your minds, you might just be thinking the other way. That the matter could be resolved today. Or we continue to wallow into who is the Supreme Court afraid of hurting that she cannot come with a clear ruling. It said that the damage has already been done and they cannot undo the damage already, because going back to say, oh yes, this person is not the speaker, this person is the speaker, might open wounds. But while protecting one party from the other, Liberians are being hurt. There are some Starbucks who have not taken pay. They told Honorable Fonati Kofa to submit 16 names of people that will be working in his office because he no longer calling to them. Sorry, as speaker. And those people have not yet taken pay for months because those names have not been submitted. Now he's under suspension while battering up. He's under suspension. And today is D-Day, or probably tomorrow. Who knows? They might go there and say, oh, the full bench is not completed, so we will have to postpone it for another time. But there are key national issues to discuss. Look at the state of our security economy. Students are protesting. These are key critical national issues. They were read before the Capitol building in front of the University of Faculty. Roadblock, students from Tottenham High wanting a better learning condition, better welfare for the teachers and all of these things. When you got committee on education from the lower and upper house, we should be sitting and looking at some of the key issues. But rather, we have taken since October up to this time, fighting to show who is the speaker, who is not the speaker. And these are some of the issues that must be addressed. Are we addressing these things? What's the outcome of the meeting? Nobody's willing to say, oh yeah, Francisco now willing to say, look, because he said he's a lawyer and he wants to set precedent. To say, look, we think we have held you people for a long period of time, and for expediency, I will step aside. I will represent my people as a representative. Say my colleagues no longer believe in my ability and my trust to steer the affairs as Speaker of the House. I will step aside. Or, Honorable Richard Kuhn, yes, for the way things are right now, there is no need to keep the Liberian people as hostage. So I will step down and leave my people of my district that elected me. Because if you look at things, you got almost 20 representatives who have been suspended from the majority bloc with all pay and benefits. And there is no way these people can represent their people for now. So these people are people who now do not have a say in the body politics of our country. How do they do it? This is where we find ourselves. This is where we find ourselves. Where do we go from here? You look around, you see all of these things happening. There are some key and critical national issues to be discussed. How do we discuss it when the leaders who should be leading the people, they are all in this area. They are all battering it out, fighting for power, while hospitals are all the drugs. A lot of reckless mistakes being made on patients at hospitals when they should claim the attention of the first branch of government. They are sitting only because they are not the ones that are regularly affected. Ordinary Liberians struggle to find food to eat, will go to hospital for treatment, misapplication of medicine, or wrongly treated. Some have died. Some carry illnesses that they did not even take to the hospital. These are concerns. Look at the state our security. We got these committees. Those people are the people's deputies. What's the outcome of ECOWAS delegation mediation into our problems here? What are we expected to hear today again from the Supreme Court? Are we contradicting ourselves? We went to a reconciliation retreat for unity, transparency, accountability, and afterward we came back and started to suspend other colleagues when we should have extended the olive branch and smoked the peace pipe. Where are we headed as a nation, as a people? But these are the folks that you stood in the rain and the sun for. You see how they are representing you now. The Chief Justice goes in a couple of months. She delivered her final address. She's been leaving in June. Who comes in? What are some of those problems that she's leaving behind? What are some of the problems that she was able to solve with her colleagues? Will we see she leaves with us settling this matter? That we will have people postponing and postponing and postponing and postponing and postponing. And when she's gone, another person who comes in and take the gavel authority and become some serious matter. Let's take this break.
And it is our fundamental responsibility as a progressive institution that fought for social justice. That fought for social justice, academic freedom, peace and political inclusion over the years to demand radical and fundamental change at every sector and every level of governance in this country. The Liberia Football Association is no exception. We want to say this to Mr. Rajay, regardless of which medium you are following his platform. Your history has reached its end. Your days of impersonating under the canopy of darkness to lead the LFA to a dark chapter has come to a close. And in the coming days, there will be unspecified revolutionary actions that will demand your resignation. We can guarantee you that there will not be no peace for you going forward until you resign from the LFA as president.
We dare you to say you are in Liberia, all documents are prepared, you are in Nigeria.
Yo. We are demanding the resignation of Mustafa Rajay on this ground. That we want the press, the public, and Liberians to follow. And we again say, we ask the press to do their independent, verified investigation. You will come to the conclusion that the local Nigerian that should be low-income in Nigeria is serving as the heteronym of state governance in this country.
Here, and you're following all of this trending event in our country right now. How do we have this matter resolved? This is something that is very serious and need to be looked at carefully. Liberians are eager to know how this matter can be settled. Other than that, we are here and heading for something next. How can we have a country and we're discussing two speakers? To the extent people find it difficult how to address the two speakers. They call you honorable, you say, no, for they respect your office and how the people did not properly, adequately plan to come. Then later you say making clarification and meeting on other between the chair on foreign affairs. When you had a chair on foreign affairs that you suspended, and you brought in your own chair. And this is where we are now. Yesterday, we condemned former President George Weah-led government of not respecting international protocol, international rulings, especially from ECOWAS Court, when we saw former Associate Justice that was impeached, Captain Janet, and he ran to the Supreme Court of Liberia, and when he was tried, removed, he ran to the ECOWAS Court that ruled in his favor and told us as a government and people to have him settled, reinstated. Up to this time, we did not do it. But it's the very same ECOWAS when we have a crisis, we run to. We ask for the intervention into our matter. Now they are trying to intervene. Now we're saying, oh, the British protocol, they have not done this, they have not done that. And after a few days, we come back to say, oh no, they met, and but you know, there was not proper, time, and all of these things. And we're waiting to hear from the highest court in the land today. Whether they will do it today, they will do it tomorrow. But they need to come clear, because legal luminaries are now saying they need to be clear and call spades spades. Other than sugarcoating things, wanting to probably please one party while Liberian people are suffering, districts are not represented. You got 73 represented from the 73 districts. You got 19 suspended. What becomes of those people? That these people should be represented. When matters are discussed, what's the impact? The lives of Marvin Cole. The lives of DB. District says lawmakers are not ended, suspended as well. And the list go on and on and on and on. Without pay and benefits. Some for 20 working section day, 30 working section day. Like so you can call by District 10. So these districts now are just there. And they're being told not to be seen around the grounds of the capital bay. We have delegation for ECOWAS to come. We say, oh yeah, let's go for a 3-day retreat for reconciliation. And at the end of the day, absolutely nothing. At the end of the day, we have not seen anything so far. Who willing to step down, smoke the peace pipe? All of what being accorded to you as speaker being removed from you. Can you see reason and say, look, I was elected first as representative before my colleagues elected me as speaker. So the focus point should be my representation for my people from Grand County. Or I will not back down on this matter. I will continue to fight, whether it takes 2-3 years. Honorable Kuhn was saying, but I have not been seen, recognized when I cross the continent or the world over as speaker. People think I have imposed myself on it, so I think I should focus on representing my people. Other than having this matter to this level. When we have an issue, we run to ECOWAS. We talk to them to come. But when we are having some issues, when they decide, they say, look, we can't sit and look at the oldest republic in Africa, especially a funding bloc of ECOWAS, the Economic Community of West African States. Liberia continue to have the stalemate when it comes to leadership crisis at the lower house. We need to go and see our best. Then when they come, we say, oh, the Pope reached for the Pope. And you come out and say, making clarity, oh, the Pope met with the Committee on Foreign Affairs. Is the matter settled? Liberia now for all years waiting for the Supreme Court today. Whether they will come again with ambiguous ruling or interpretation that will leave the two parties again celebrating and say, yeah, we have won. Ambassador, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Liberia, and pleasant welcome. The matter of this country must be held on our agenda because it borders on the survivability of our people, and it is important that you have your one or two says on these matters. It's important. But you know, let's say this very clear. Liberians saw the effect of the Supreme Court's involvement in this matter. And again, I want to say emphatically that the people of this country, the peace of this country, the forward march, a democratic movement of this country, the world is watching Liberia today again. What kind of decision? You know, in every man's life, the kind of decision you make affect you, whether positive or negative. Mm-hmm. And Liberia has seen that the involvement or the decision of the Supreme Court has affected Liberia, whatever way you take it to be, whether it's positive or negative. And today is another day, another time, another period in the journey of the Chief Justice of this country. Whether the Chief Justice or the full bench of the Minister of Justice, the Associate Justices, whether they will make this country again by keeping silence or by saying something that nobody understands that needs interpretation, it is today again, Ambassador. It is serious. Because for all indication, our folks have played mockery of this country. And I will say that to Liberians, every time these confusions erupt, these misunderstandings, they benefit more than you. They benefit more than you. They love these times. They are not worried. They know what they are getting. They benefit more than you. That's the reason why they love this kind of time where you are confused. Then they settle down and move on, making decisions on their own that benefit just they and their families. Imagine that you are saying earlier on, why will ECOWAS be shown sort of gross disrespect by Liberia? Why? A nation that was once respected on this continent, in this part, this region. But today, we are having a kind of leaders that make decisions so selfishly and not thinking about the people. Imagine hearing that the Korogo Regime Speaker, they are saying that they never call him Speaker, they say Honorable Kuhn, so it's a gross disrespect, it's an affront. Where is that coming from? Where is that? What is that? Eh? Are you not an honorable man? When you are coming from the horse, you carry a speaker in a horse there with a knee. Then they should call you speaker. The fact that the people even recognize you to speak to you or to come to you that let's sit and talk. Even they recognize you already, but they will call you speaker first. I don't know where. And some folks masquerade the coroner with such an attitude. They will call the counselor, they will call the doc, they will call it this, they will call it papa, they will call what? I don't know what Liberia coming up with this thing. By they calling you speaker, will it help the country? You know, they certainly show that these guys, their actions, their behavior is selfishly motivated. They are not having the people in mind. At one bit, they don't have respect for the Liberian people. You are nothing. Liberian people make you representative. You are nothing. Your colleague said you come and serve in a position. Then you take your claim to yourself that you must be. They must call you this first. You know, on a very clear thing, these folks, some of them don't want the issue to be settled. Because it will bring a disgrace, it will bring a big disgrace on them. I wonder if you were the one in Kofa shoes, where will we be today? Will you not be carrying folks and chucking stools all over the country? The Capitol building there? Because for them to address it as honorable men, you say no. Eh? And ECOWAS is playing more responsible role into Liberia. Because they know that this thing, if not handled carefully, might just spill over to other countries. We must just carry our heat to them. And we are just crying boys around here. Tanka will be crying, oh, ECOWAS come, we need peacekeepers, we need ECOWAS, we need this. I wonder why Liberians going to forget. When you hear this in the country, when you are a speaker, that today Liberia has given you an opportunity. You know, it's so much yourself. Even you as a lawmaker, it's a privilege. The Liberia chose you among many who and serve them. But this thing here, on a serious note, the Supreme Court is not careful today, they will bring power to this country. They need to come very clear. Whether you like it or not, whether you accept it or not, they need to come clear. That's a fight about that. The Constitution of this country gave you the power. See it. What are you supposed to say? If the Supreme Court has came out very clear from the beginning, we are not going to be running with this thing around here. But because everyone saying you are the ultra fire, you are the ultra fire, we are clean for ourselves, we are the right person, we are the right person, and we're moving on. Who told you that every time the majority is right? Have you now seen that the majority go and elect a president that do nothing good for this country? The majority is not always right. We have to listen. That's why sometimes I ask myself, where are the leaders? Where are the elders that in an African proverb that sits on the ground or in a chair on the mat but can see far in the future than a young man on top of the tallest hill or mountain? Where are they? Is it that all of our oldest people died during the war? Or they are incapacitated? They are brain drained? They cannot think again? That they should sit and allow the country to move in such a direction? Then those who call honorable people, are they confused? One of the younger generation? Liberia had to think this time around. See our folks yesterday. Our students that should be in class were on the street. They were being tear gas again. The folks that we should mold their minds to get prepared for the future. And they were telling us we are not having instructors. Imagine that. And today they have said that they are coming back. We don't know why the police are playing for them again or state security. They are saying now, while they are having this thing, private school must join them, or else there will be no section for them. And folks are asking, where are the teachers? We are now getting reports that the teachers are prepared to get on the street to raise the alarm. Why all things happen in Liberia like this? And it's just repeating itself. Past government, the same thing happened. This government is happening. Then those we hold in high esteem. Are they ones popping champagnes, enjoying themselves, and leaving the matter of which they were called for? It's an affront. It is despicable. It is unaccepted to the Liberian people. The Liberian people don't deserve this kind of treatment they are getting from their leaders. They don't deserve it. The Liberian people don't deserve this kind of leadership that they're getting. It should not be. Why? And they still hinge on the Supreme Court today. Whether you like it or not, let the Supreme Court come clear. We don't want today that the Supreme Court made a statement and it's not clear. They will find a justice minister or will find a minister coming to interpret. Let them say what they will say. Let them interpret. Let them make themselves very clear today. Let us know. This thing is getting too long. This thing is getting too long. Imagine why we are in this kind of crisis. They are taking their pay. But teachers are not taking salaries. They are complaining. Volunteer teachers, what we promised them today, they are not. At the end result, the folks are stealing this country money. And we'll re-echo this. The internal audit report at the Armed Commission. They should not temper that report. If that report is against them or for them, let them produce that report. And let the LSCC and the TSC carry on a comprehensive audit of report in that place there. Because more than 300,000 was given to the Armed Commission to furnish that building. They never did anything. Till today they are looking for furnitures. We are getting a report allegedly that they are looking for vendors so that they can go into bargaining with them to provide materials for them. We hearing it. We also getting a report that the head of the institution is deputed for the city county. Let me be serious. This country must move forward. We cannot continue doing the old things. A thing that will be moving. Movement is not progress. And to see leaders that the high trust has been placed in go to institutions and begin to malfunction. This is bad for Liberia. This is bad. And how Liberians can join their voices and call on the Supreme Court today to come clear. Chief Justice Sianayo, we know your tenure is winding out. Just in a couple of weeks, a month, you'll be out of that position. Please do the needful. Don't allow these folks buy you and your colleagues because they are prepared. They say when you put yourself into the local, they will teach you how to produce steak. They are prepared to treat you anyhow, to give you any money, so that whatever ruling must come in must be in their favor. We are getting these things. But let that be the case. Put the Liberian people interest first. Those folks were not born to be representatives, to be speakers. It was by the interest that the Liberian people saw and favored them and said, you go this time and lead us. It should not be by the means where they come and sit and suffer by their hands. See where we are. They're not really season. Our folks, disaster management, money given to them, they pocket the money. Victims for last disasters in this country have not received a dime. They are complaining. Monies are given them, one in limbo. Again, we have about to face another issue here. Watch Commission, he had to defy the LCC that he was going to arrest him. There are so many things happening in this country, Liberians. Let's begin to handle them one at a time. Not to pardon up our excess baggage. Go on those days. So we allow our people to cry, to suffer by the rule that we bring to them. They deserve better. While we are dancing around here, our gold, our diamonds are leaving the soil by the day, leaving this country. If the elders of this land are not seeing these things, we are seeing it. Because we have the garment of elders. We can see fire in the future. And if care is not taken, tomorrow we will say we used to be. Liberia used to be a rich country. Liberia used to have gold.
Yeah.
Liberia used to have diamond, the timber, the uranium, the silicons. But they will be all wiped out because of the poor leadership of those who will call to govern the country in whatever aspect you will be in. So it's a warning to the Supreme Court today. Please come clear. Ambassador, the Supreme Court must come clear today.
Yeah, sure. Indeed.
They should.
They need to come clear. Let's get this matter behind.
Because the first time that their involvement is what's happened to the country. It's what happened to the country. It's what happened. How can a country like Liberia should be leading in a democratic form is now saying we got 2 speakers? Where is it coming from? Today the lives of Joseph Jingin Rawas, when you ask them today, is that why you visit Liberia be at this time? They will cry. In the level of Samuel and Joe, the country that you are governing, your leadership that took us into the problem, is this what you saw for the future? They will tell you that I know that we'll face challenges, but not this one. Why should Liberia plunge itself in such a nightmare? For what reason? The country is being stagnant. It's being held hostage. And everything we're doing, we just have to live. The executive just have to move. Whether it's right or not, they just have to move on. Is it how it should be? Or we should do the right thing? That's what God laws in the book. While we are there, wallowing in where parking space is, who become speaker, who become respected, our kids are wallowing in the street. They are homeless. They are feeding on harmful substance that have endangered their life for the future. That if care is not taken, there is no future for our kids tomorrow. Because of the poor leadership of our people. Let the Supreme Court come clear. We need to have a one house, a full house, that at the matter of this country should be discussed. And not a divided house. Because the house that is divided against itself shall not survive. It shall definitely fall. And this is what is happening to this country. Because of the division, we cannot sit together and have anything straightened up. All of our things that we're doing, we are doing it the wrong way. For what reason? Only because we should survive. We are not in this time of survivor. Supreme Court. I want to hear my Liberian report this morning. We want to hear you. Some of you may want the Supreme Court involvement. Some of you may not. It's a right. That's an opinion. Some of you support lawmakers here and there. That's a right. Some of you are the one who voted some of them. That's a right. It was given to you constitutionally. You have to exercise that. But this problem on the overall will not affect those who have rights or not rights. It will affect all of us in this country. The actions by our leaders will affect all of us, if not the unborn. It will affect the generation that even the unborn will be affected. So it's now that we'll correct these things and set on the red path. Square pegs in square holes, round pegs in round holes. Let's begin to get it right and move this country forward. This is another opportunity. The God of existence have given Liberia again. How we manage it depends on how we move forward. How we manage it depends the kind of peace we want. How we manage it depends the kind of leadership we want. Liberia is up to you this morning. Let's talk about it. The Supreme Court must come clear today.
Sure.
This matter has to come to an end.
We are at the make or break period into the entire impasse, and we expect to have an outcome that will be well respected from both parties.
And we call it on our leader. Let them accept. It is the law. Whether it's against you or for you, accept and let's move on. You accept it to any wrong, does it make you not a human being or a lawmaker? Good morning.
Good morning, Weekie Nath.
Josiah Smoke, go ahead.
Exclusive recognition, man. You Josiah Smoke calling from the Commander Peace Island, Commander 540. Let me say thank you for the discussion, but let me try to make a little correction. Supreme Court is not bringing verdict today in the case. Today is the legal argument. Is the argument between the both legal team, the both offer and that of the majority. So there's a whole hearing.
That's why we are. But that's
the hearing is setting a path to the settlement of this thing.
Yeah, we want to have a clear picture of what will happen today.
Thank you. Today is the final hearing between the both parties. From there, when they hear this report, they will reserve the ruling. That's the time some have been asking the Supreme Court to be very clear.
We're asking them now.
They are handling both parties. Like they are very confusion out here. And the country was quoted by the chief justice at the time. They came and said, Article 33, the simple majority act constitute all they can do business. Where the minority act, and they can get the knowledge to join day to day and compare activity to go and join, and the activity are the majority. Because cover could not be the quorum. And you get for on the activity next, and the activity are in majority. So that's why we are confused. Then interpret Article 33 to us, Article 38, Article 49. Then it is clear today. After the hearing, the ruling will be waiting for the final judgment. And let me consultate with the SCNF students. We all were students. And our chapel Weekie. The Constitution provides that I got a right to peaceful assembly at all times. This is sometimes with all times. But it should be in a peaceful and orderly manner. Any protest you go for peaceful gathering, also being peaceful and not peaceful. The law enforcement will instill law and order. They get this clear. They are all on the point. In a peaceful and orderly manner. I can recall a police man one time a few days. Ooh, we now have no noise. Even the PNCMS student yesterday, day before yesterday, they mad, we now have no noise. But right yesterday, we have noise. You also being peaceful, you will face the wrath of the law. That means you are following the simple story going and say, you will exercise right. The police are not stool. The police are not rag. The police are not stakes. The law enforcement will be peaceful and will guide the person because they are right. So the peaceful assemble.
Thank you. Thank you. 0775 919 919 080 919 919. Let's talk to other callers on the line this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, you're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you live.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Lucha. I joined from Jeshua, number 6, most of the country. You see, when the case went first to the Supreme Court, it was going to do the honorable thing. By not going through the case, I think by now we will be discussing about Supreme Court, what I will today, really today in the pub. You see, too much of slogan thing is not correct. You see, that the Supreme Court had to be very careful now. Because in the street lost a taste, it began tasteless. People will not believe in the Supreme Court now. Even when they come with a ruling, they say, oh, the majority black, they are right. People will still have different things about them. What are they going to do the raffle thing? What are they going to do it? And from last year, October up to now, we are going through too many things. We are suffering. People you go to the very market, things are very expensive. You discuss that one. Why can the president? Why the president can't speak? Or why the president can't speak? Or even do that different president? Why the president can't speak? I want the president to speak, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Let's talk to other callers. You're live.
Good morning, Mr. Wood.
Good morning.
Yeah. My name is Famita Cummings and I come from Raya.
You're welcome.
We listening for the ruling for the Supreme Court today. We pray that all, because we tired with the two speakership, or else the district will rise against its representative that representing the district. Because we can't be like this. No. The country will never be like this to have two speakers. Where? It can never happen. And so the students, if you a student, you behave that time. But you will not go like a day before yesterday where they went for that protest with the intention of stealing the police, where they took stools and placed it in the bed. They took water and started throwing it at the police. They want started stealing the police wife. And then I get one other station that the police should stand still, their statue, and look at them. They are people fathers. They are people, children. They got the red blood flowing through their veins. They should start doing that to the police. They shouldn't be stoning at the police all the time. The police should be the theater in everything. Let Liberians come to themselves, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's talk to other callers on the line this morning. Good morning. Go ahead, you're live. Okay, let's talk to this caller on the line. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead.
I want to thank you, Joseph Mushak. Something hurt me about this nation, Liberia, our natural resources. Now you visit the southeastern region, some of these villages, you see how they got near mad there. There's no safe drinking water. Tears set in my eyes all the time. I see foreigners or aliens carrying our resources away from the country, and we, the youth and the citizens, like a job. There is not justice. So even though we listen to radio all the time, we speak about, please let the press, the media group and the civil servant find ideas so that we can get back to get our benefit from our resources. Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Good morning. A pleasant good morning to the two royal ambassadors.
Please go ahead, sir.
And let me say good morning those in Radio Land. I call from Johnsonville currently, and my name is Blackman Funekoro. Trust me, Weekie Nath, there is nothing good you will get from that Supreme Court. It is how these guys choose to treat us. It is how these guys choose to lead this country. Yeah, and the kind of people they see here, they see you as somebody that is not dignified, and so they don't care. It is up, they go, down, and you stay. Yeah, and so they are going there again. How many times we have not cried? How many times? It's really about improving this country. When you are called to duty, when you are given that mandate to execute it to the fullest, and these guys will be in our house. Imagine that people we elected to make decisions for us. Are they really decision makers? But man, some of these things we have to put our mouth in it, and for people to hear and know what is going on. But there are people that don't even understand. And they narrow it to their own understanding when it is not even good for the country. But this is where we are. Happy it is God Almighty. We are trusting that this country move forward. It is our prayer. But these guys, even they put that at one another stroke.
Thank you. Let's talk to other callers on the line. You're live.
Good morning to our many listeners.
Go ahead, Abby.
Yeah, thank you for the special explanation. Then it's the students. But the students had a protest. Other politicians are using that means to get recognition. No, but people have disenchanted, and then before they had the mind to go protest, our politicians shouldn't be the ones to use the students. The opposition, CDC, most of their members, and other people, they become advocates on that day. Some of them, they use that means to go and attack the police. And the police too, they are human beings. Although they are there to protect life and property, but equally so, they can see when you have students too taking right for their bed, taking water and chunking it, then they got different mindsets. Then they protest not peaceful no longer. And you expect the police to retaliate. So that what happened, but we condemn the action. The issue about the speakership, they don't understand that the country has been dragged down the way because of the crisis of the speakership. The Liberian people should understand that to lead people It should people who be held responsible, and responsible people should be the one to lead them. Today, because of lack of responsibility, that's why the crisis is continuing. And that's because Kofa understands that in every African democracy, every leader that comes, they want to work with their own speaker. We say they over and over. You shouldn't drive the country to where it not belongs. Today, people are telling him not to resign. But the same people will go ahead and telling him, say, he hold the country at state, and then he disrupt people shouldn't re-elect him. Then you look at the masses, then you look out for the sake of the country. If you have people who are in your interest and today they're no longer in your interest, you relinquish power and let them lead, and the other people should look at them. But you holding the country hostage because you said the rule of law should be to prevail. We know that there's a rule of law, but other people have been leaving it because of the country's sake. You understand. We understand, the Liberian people understand that you are an elected speaker, but the people that elected you say no longer they are trusted in you. So you leave. But today, we are all here drinking, bill cannot pass, no quorum, and then still the country has been held hostage. So then they understand the ruling that will come out today from the Supreme Court, that will be able to bow by it. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you as well for being part of the conversation. Let's talk to other callers. Good morning.
Mr. Fire, Mr. Bro, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to SLS Person Parker and especially Unanda. So I joined from Broadway to 17, number 217. You see, everybody should always have that space and sense to be expressive in our democracy, because this is the law we are on. But if two parties have gone on stage to perform their respective duties, I think everyone should know the line of belonging. The issue about the student yesterday and the police, I condemn it as, but the students should understand why it is true that it cannot be expressive or it cannot external constitutionally. You should understand that the police is there to guide you in the process where to go or where not to go. The law does not subscribe to you going anywhere or doing anywhere while you are protesting. Now, some of all watch the process live, even though we're not on a scene. But the issues that happened yesterday, they started on the people, but later it got very violent in a point where we have the student leaders who were presenting a petition, and you got put from the university angle they were tuning. How do you expect the police whose lives supposed to be protected and other citizens who are around there, that lives and property supposed to be protected, and have post tuning around the place? If students tell you there are people who they plan to go protect it by another people who will join them and be destructed in the process. I did listen to the head from Monroe School System this morning, at the Jim Momo. He did say that when he held the institution, he had 104 persons who are serving as volunteers. Now he has 490 who are in the classroom. So he was quoted by one of your colleagues this morning that, so, I mean, these people, when you put them on payroll, do you consult Minister of Information, Education and Finance? He said no. I said, but how can this kind of thing happen? Because those who are forward authorities to verify people who should be in the state, and the Finance Minister forward authority to pay these people. So how do you hire these people in the absence of these people? So it tells you there are people who do things arbitrarily and expect the central government to take on the responsibility. And that should not be the way. I think if it's true what he admitted on the show this morning, it is true. I think the government should take action against it. And also, you should not go free telling that. And the issue about the speakership, some of us said they will not shout out kidding, right? Funani Kofa, Honorable Kofa, sorry to say, he got to lead the country to be free. So, those people who voted you as a leader, clear among equal. You have a right to serve as lawmaker in your district. You don't have a right to serve as people when people have gone against you.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's talk to other callers on the line this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my children.
Good morning.
Much of every morning, you know, great morning, the morning. That whole thing that when the students visit on your friend, bank get time for them. Those students, the principal, the dean of students, they're supposed to be fired now. Before even Chazab turn himself, President Baga turn himself to the education minister, they supposed to also be fired by now. The children, their parents send them to school. Say that they learn tomorrow before they watch my go make tea part. They ain't doing it, they listen to the teachers. I don't know why the teachers don't share their salary with them. And getting a street pole out of rats in their pole bear, I was watching and that. They have rats in their pole bear, all that wound they got in front of their fence. Police never carry rat or did not hear them. They started suing the police. So rats are in a bad they had. And I went to go to school for. When you graduate from early student, they can't even read one straight letter. And they didn't want to fight him behind and they getting beaten at that. Let the president fire those people now. They ain't got invitation to teach your children or for the country. Let them fire them for our MCSS. They'll take you the money.
Thank you as well for being part of the conversation this morning. Let's talk to the callers on the line this morning. You're live.
Good morning.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Information, Brooks, when it comes to our fathers, brothers, and sisters at the parliament there, they really need to put themselves together. My bigger question here is about when the ECOWAS meeting was going on, who really stood as a speaker? They had an ECOWAS meeting on Monday. Who really ECOWAS that they know that, oh, this is the speaker for them that they really show for the ECOWAS meeting? This is my bigger concern of today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being part of the conversation. Let's talk to other callers on the line.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And good morning to our listening audience. Our situation currently in the legislature is not the president, or it comes from the judiciary system. The president cannot just intrude into the judiciary activity when it is performing. Hello?
You live, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The president cannot just intrude into the judiciary activities when it is performing. The problem there is that the judiciary should be able. This thing should have been long. This situation is long overdue. This is Mr. Reese. I'm sorry that I did not call my name earlier. This is Mr. Cornelia Street. This situation is long overdue, and I'm asking the judiciary branch to please see how best this situation can come forward. It's nothing to continue to uphold. It's embarrassing the Liberian citizens. Let us know who is right to be speaker, and let us know who is not to be speaker, so that that situation can be raised and we start thinking on another thing to do with for the development.
Thank you. Let's talk to other callers. You're live.
Yeah, good morning, Weekie.
Good morning.
This is Steven Stowe. I'm speaking from LBS Community.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I only want to go directly with scholarship business. You see, we the youth of this nation, sometimes when you are responding to things, we are not very careful. Today, we want to, some people want that either for regime people should be considered that every regime that comes to power, I don't care whether someone from the opposition or from any other side win the speakership, you must only be accepted if you are to be a regime speaker, which is you are only going to work directly with the will and pleasure of the president. You only want for a goal to be received, but you don't want for the nation or the citizen of the nation for us to be here. We have to be careful. Our nation is a nation that has its own constitution, and that we have to live by that constitution. If 2023 or 2024 we had an election that we had speaker, and by any other means they want to speak that speaker, what is required to remove that speaker should be considered is what we have to go back. But we should not sit there and say that, oh, if the people voted you and the other people came out of there are a certain number that have to remove you from the speakership. If you don't have that number, you have to wait for another 6 years. The only thing is they must all be able to understand each other in the heart and work for the way of the Liberian people. You are not there for the president, you are there for the nation. So for somebody to come out and say that I want to be a regime speaker, then some people say that any other or leader that come into power, they want to work with their own speaker. I don't think that statement should be accepted in our democracy. This is a democracy, and we have rule and law that govern this nation. Thank you.
Thank you as well. Let's talk to other caller. 9 o'clock will bring you fast check. Good morning.
Good morning, Weekie and Nath.
Yeah, good morning.
This is David Chi. I joined you from District 6 this morning. I'd like to comment on the two topics that have been discussed. The first has to do with the issue of the students who protested yesterday and day before. I think they started on a good footing. First of all, it is very sad that students, especially public school students, will have to go in to protest on behalf of their teachers who are yet to receive salaries. I'm told that the government augmented salaries for public school teachers. And I was saying, what is the essence of increasing salaries when the little you are paying the people, you cannot even give it on time? So for students to be protesting, interceding for their teachers because they are not learning, most of those people will be writing public text next month or also for to be writing the WAS examination. They should be in class learning. But they are in the street, and for me, I do not conform to the concept of violence. I think the students, the act of vandalism, violence, or other disruptive act that was carried out yesterday was wrong. They had their right to peacefully assemble. There are other pedestrians, there are other people, road users, who are going about their normal activities. You cannot disrupt them. Peacefully go and assemble, go to the Capitol building, or the finance ministry, or the marshal, or the Ministry of Education. Those are places that your concerns can be met. We are peaceful citizens as well. Ourselves are affected with the situation in the country. I'm sorry that most of them were being tear gas, which I do not support. But next time, as students, as intellectuals, like I would tell people, we shouldn't go to violence. Violence should be the last, if possible. It shouldn't even be a means that we should resort to. There are better ways we can engage these people in our numbers. So the issue that is up Capitol Hill for me, the judiciary was not the branch that engendered that entire dispute, but I think they have a part to play. They have a part to play for the fact that they had an opportunity to stop it, but they went and spoke in ambiguous terms. Weekie, if it were commoners who were before the court with a case, they would have spoken and ruled in the most simplistic and very readable terms that anybody can understand. But they chose to speak big book that even the common man cannot interpret. Then one attorney general went and decided to interpret, and the executive and senate decided to side with them. It is sad. ECOWAS today that we are disrespecting. When it is time for war, when it's time for dispute, when it's time for trouble in this country, we run to ECOWAS even before America will come, even before Europe will come. It is ECOWAS that steps in first. That is why Tinubu did not only send the ECOWAS Parliament, but the ECOWAS Commission. So if you say, Honorable Richard, if you say the Parliament referred to you as a majority speaker, that was not the Parliament that came, even though someone from the Parliament was there, but it was the ECOWAS Commission that was headed by a former Nigerian foreign minister. Why didn't you sit to listen to the people, what they had to say? The people were meeting with different dignitaries, former president, the judiciary, and other people. Why didn't you listen to them? The issue of Capitol Hill needs to come to an end. If it cannot come to an end, we, the people, the ordinary people, will have to rise up, will have to stand up. Mind you, people are discussing, those people are taking pay. Even though some of them have been suspended, 18 of them have been suspended, which I think is illegal and unjustifiable, but they are taking salaries. Their constituencies are depending on them. Some of them haven't made district report. Some of them haven't discussed anything with their district yet because of the brouhaha that is up Capitol Hill. The legislative, judiciary, now today, they made a mistake, but today they have it.
Thank you. Let's talk to other callers. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Nah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
All right, thank you very much, Sam. Let me use the time to extend my thanks to the honorable lawmaker and Marcus Thomas for his numerous contributions to district number 4. why is it true that I've been here, but I never voted to go on time? Because I just came to this. But I'm a motorcyclist, I move around. I see a work that he's doing, so I mean, as a life, you should give flower. And the past time, the district people used to complain. But Makotoma is doing well. So I appreciate him a lot. I bless God and you should continue.
So go to the point, Yeah, talk to me.
Good morning, Weekie. Hello, Monitor.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I speak to you from Australia. Weekie has something in conflict resolution. Let me say in matter, they call conflict resolution. And in conflict resolution, they have something called root cause of matter. Now, there is some that the children got into the street yesterday because the government promised that to provide free education for each and everyone. And while so doing that, they have been denied to get education. So the solid was draw the attention of the national government to see how best they can be able to get what needed to be. So the governor of Liberia, the finance minister, Augustine K. Capon, told each and everyone, the entire world, let's forget about Liberia, that no government entity, ministry, and agency that owe or government owe them. So our utmost surprise, yesterday the CSS loan on a land 7 months. Which country, which part of this world? Even the radio station and people working here, 7 months you can't get paid. It did not draw the attention of the government. Why people are not taking it into consideration that this government lies to the people or the finance minister lies to the people? Today they are latching the children. The children got into the street. The children were able to storm on them. Let me tell you something. In handling this kind of matter, they got something they call non-lethal. If at all you go to this forest, maybe an anti-fire or what have you, you can use non-lethal. And non-lethal are those things that you can use like a rattan. You're looking at children, these are not adults. You use rattan on it. If the rattan cannot continue the situation, you use cold water. They got something all around. You use cold water. If the cold water cannot continue the situation, you use warm water.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk to other callers. You live.
Hey, man, you talk plenty, man.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Yes. Good morning.
Go ahead.
All right. My name is Africa, calling from the VOA community. Thank you, Weekie, for the topic on the discussion of you and Brooks. Okay, as a student yesterday, Article 17 of our law constitution says we should peacefully assemble. But yesterday the question will be when they peaceful in assembly, so because the motive behind the assembly was to override their ability to be stoning at the police. So they were absolutely wrong yesterday. We are putting on the Supreme Court today to come down with a ruling as it relates to the speaker, and we hope that it will be honorably respected because we are tired with the things that are going on up there on campus. We didn't send those guys on campus there to go play football, send them to go make lawyers to represent us. If they are not able to do that, let them resign and let other people come and take over. Take for the time.
Thank you for being part of the conversation. Let's talk to other callers. You live.
Yeah, good morning, Weekie. Good morning to people now.
Good morning.
So this is Gabriel Conto. So Weekie, the first thing we pray that today God will take the heart of the Supreme Court bench to have the country to have a rest today. So they won Rama rule for over 4 months, 5 months. We started one thing here. Since last year started state doing trade. Not speaker, no speaker. People say they were born to be speaker or they were born to be the kind of person. I never born to be speaker. The speaker position is someone I did for them that money, but they get money because I greed in it. I cannot greed in it. Greed put in it, but I want for that money, but only money benefit. But by the grace of God today, there's something going to come with the ruling. Let us pray. Let God help us. Let Liberia rest in peace. Let the country move forward because we did not elect the president to have a structure that he can work. We want the president to work for us. And the lesson for the student, I don't know how it happened because yesterday I did not listen to the radio and I know what happened because I did not eat yesterday. But I think it was even wrong for the student to protect for teachers' salary. What happened to the teacher then? The teacher they haven't done, they can't protect for my own salary. I'm going to protect for them to raise my life. If I'm not in school, we can protect our school campus, we can put a platform to our school campus and protect. But to leave on there and go to, out and go protect the student, one for someone to waste my life, I think I'll go there. But anyway, we also advise that it should not be done again. We pray that the police should be more able when see students are special in it. Should be careful to hide anything because.
Oh, okay. Let's talk to other callers on the line.
Yeah, listen now. Sorry, there's small back on the line. There one quick correction on me. I control today it's not ruling. That the correction one made. Today it's not ruling. Today it's one.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk to other callers on the line.
Good morning, to my two ambassadors. This is Pastor Moses. I'm calling from the market here this morning. I want to say thank you so kindly, and let me use this opportunity to say good morning to Mark Josephine as well. One time I saw hearing about her, and also our father, Councillor Peter Bonojara. Yesterday, my attention was called by one of my brothers on social media to posting that there were a lot of students that were killed by police yesterday. So that when I asked him, I said, Brahma, why would you say police kill students? He said, yo, they kill students. This is kind of government we are putting in position. I said, wow. So that when I then started searching the videos and then I saw some of the incidents that occurred, our students want to be used by politicians. We are all feeling sorry for them. Their teachers are not in class, and we all pass through those same rank as our students before. So if they will allow for politicians to use them for the wrongdoing, I said it is not supposed to be like that. Please, students, I don't know why any cause them that they were on heavy speed like that, because like I saw the journalists with them running. I told you guys you are work peacefully as some of other to the Ministry of Education or Finance or to the executive or whatever. You gather peacefully, present your petition to the lawmaker or whosoever, and then see how the people can address you people black. But running on the street, putting stone in your back, that you people have different intention, I don't know. Thank you this morning.
Yeah, this is a very serious matter. And I've seen that there are folks from the opposition black who are trying to use these students and putting them in harm's way. Let us understand that they might have a genuine concern about the absence of teachers in classes or public school, as a matter of fact. The folks from Tottenham High. You left 12th Street and went as far as the University of Liberia campus, even the grounds of the capital building, to carry your protest there. And before this protest took place, nothing to means words. The CDC, they mobilized whatever took place yesterday. They brought it out. You can't keep using the student for the wrong reason. You cannot use the student for the wrong reason. There is nothing, no if and end about it. They did that. And they were the very same people again that got motorcyclists into the problem that they in again.
Even the involvement with the University of Liberia, with the LFA, they also involved.
Yeah.
Motorcyclists, they are there, all that. We can't keep putting our folks in harm's way. If the students were on their campus to protest, or we're not having classes, right? Because no teachers were outside, they would have still raised a concern. But they go on at the level of the Capitol building, then it's funny, university students joining them again. So we just found pockets of protesting yesterday. While they were leaving from the LFA headquarters, they joined the students. And that was the point we saw that whole thing escalating. Because initially when the students went first, they were very peaceful on the first day.
In the very first place, why those students threw rocks into the backpacks? What's the intent?
The war stone police.
Now we are asking government to amend the salary of your teachers, which is good, or to make sure that the salaries are well paid and on time, good. But do you need to take racks into your bags and go because somebody tried to use you in the process?
Because you should be one of the most peaceful body to have a protest.
Yeah.
You are students. You are. It's a passionate appeal that have not fallen on a fertile soil and say, let's go out to raise this concern.
Listen to Alvin Wizard yesterday.
Folks, it is what it is. They give you the caveat to the police. The police have already have the formation. We don't know what is going to happen the next minutes from now. But it is what it is. We are here as a media practitioner. We always here to make sure to bring you all of the happenings. Tear gas, eating is our regular meal on a protest like this. So they are asking the District 8 lawmaker, who is the chair of claims and petition, to go back. They are referring to him and his team as
gas. They were tear gas when they went to present the petition.
Yeah.
So today you want to use them to that they should be manhandled by the police, because the police are there to protect the process. And if you go outside of the law, you will be apprehended, because it's the sole duty of the police to make sure that law and order exists. Listen to them.
For your intestinal fortitude in struggling on the bottom of our great movement, the revolutionary
having abandoned due to teachers laying down.
People that obviously they were going to address some of the fundamental issues properly. He said some, because we know obviously it is a difficult thing to address all at once, but to address some of the fundamental issues of the republic. To see today the Unity Party that was confronted with the same situation 12 years. Student protest here in this country when Ellen Johnson said he was president of this country. On the same situation, the rescue mission who took break after 6 years and come back to power again, and then they cannot address the issue. It means that the rescue mission is going nowhere. Obviously, they don't have anything to do with this country.
What they are forced, we see the police trying to hold conversation with them, asking them to leave the mill right for the fact that they want to either have some level of resolution with regards to what they are doing. Is there something that you see not prudent at the moment?
I think the students started this few weeks ago. I think the students have a dialogue with the government, obviously, right? So at this moment, the students need an immediate address of the situation. And that is the reason why the students come out to protest. Whenever in a society, when you see students come out in the street to protest, obviously meaning the students have a plan, all of the method to ensure that this situation be addressed before it can explode. You understand what I'm saying? So to see the student coming out here today, obviously it means that the student needs an immediate address. So for the student to have an immediate address, obviously the student said they have a petition that they want to address to the lawmakers of this country. And if the lawmakers cannot come here, obviously they won't leave the street.
But the lawmakers are on break, are you aware?
Oh, but then obviously I guess they are following, right? I guess they are following. They are mainstream, like the same people here to receive the student petition. But I don't think the police are the right people to receive the petition of the students. And that is the reason why the students are insisting that there should be a representative for the lawmaker that will come here to receive the petition of the students. And I believe the students are right. The students are never wrong, and the students can never be wrong.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So folks, we'd like to say many thanks to all of you. And on this live coverage here, still here from Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. And, the students here demanding the government to probe into their situation, because we've been told teachers have laid down their chalks, and due to the situation of the country, the having getting their salary, so based upon that, they have gone on a go slow, and now students just going to class without a teacher. So they are demanding the lawmakers to come and receive their petition to have it been delivered to the chair and executive to the president of the Republic of Liberia. Folks, it is what it is here on this premium platform today, Liberia Television. We'd like to say many thanks if you're just joining us on this live coverage here, folks. Students are here asking the government of the Republic of Liberia to probe into their situation. So the wherever you are joining us, views, comments are very key to us here on this live coverage.
Right now, our primary concern is their safety and for them to go home.
What this delay has been taking place a lot, because many a times you have seen the police action that have turned to something else, whether at the police firing tear gas and maybe probably school children erupts as a further analysis. What you got to say, because now you that just is taking a delay and now you're seeing vehicles are not moving in this new route and this is causing a lot of problems at the moment.
Yeah, it is causing a lot of problems, and the delays are, because of the refusal of the students to talk. We've been running behind them since the morning. They're wanting to leave with the leadership, but they're very adamant and they don't want to speak with anyone. But eventually they will all calm down and have a conversation with us. After that conversation, I think the current bureau is standing there waiting for the person to come and
what somebody may come, though you from the Ministry of Education, but somebody will say that this matter that the teacher had a press conference announcing the amount that they were abandoning classes, and you know the trickle-down effect would be where the students will say, yes, since there are no teachers coming in the classes, the next thing for us to do is to take onto the street. What have been the intervention so far with the Ministry of Education and that of the teacher, so that it doesn't come this far?
MCSS is autonomous, even though it's so the Ministry of Education has to engage. What we found out from our initial engagement is that these students just had their meeting. The teachers just had their meeting this whole weekend. On Friday, they had a couple of things on their list as to why they were going slow. And from Friday, they decided to go slow on Monday. So we just found out on Monday. So there's an engagement going on between the Ministry of MCSS. One thing I want to make clear is I'm seeing all the factors of these students that the way their teachers pay. I'm going to make this clear today that MCSS, more than Ministry of Education, doesn't pay any teacher. So there must be some misinformation that's going to these students. Somebody is between the students coming here, because if I'm seeing on your placard that you want your teachers to be paid, and I know that government teachers are not good, the MCSS do not pay the teachers, then I know that somebody is giving misinformation to the students. And that's wrong. Because if there's an issue with teachers and administration, I don't think you can put the students in the middle of it. Right?
So you see, that's
and they still remain sitting on the ground. They are not
So the police are retaliating on the students to leave the road, and at the movement now, they are using force on the students to leave the road. They are using force on the students. They are using force on the student, and the students being so adamant. They are saying they will not leave. They are saying they will not leave. The speaker of the students in the STEM, they are saying they will not leave. They prefer to die.
Back, we delve into what you're listening to the Youth League of the Congress for Democratic Change. Let's check up next this morning.
Next segment. This segment debunks. Good day and welcome to the Fact Check segment. This segment debunks disinformation and provides the verified. Good day and welcome to the Fact Check segment. This segment debunks disinformation and provides the verified facts of statements made online and on the radio. On March 25, Thomas Goshua, representative of Grand Bassa District No. 5, claimed at the program marking the celebration of the World Water Day that 14 to 15% of Liberia's 2025 budget comes from donor funding. Representative Goshua made the claim while stressing the need for increased funding towards water, sanitation, and hygiene initiatives. To fact-check this claim, we reviewed the approved national budget for 2025, which shows that domestic revenue accounts for US $804 million, representing 91.4% of the total budget. External resources in the budget amounted to US $76 million, representing 8.6% of the total budget. Accordingly, external resources are drawn from IMF, accounting for US $40 million, EU US $20 million, and domestic financing from Treasury bills at the CBO, accounting for $16,035,000. Based on these findings, we conclude that the claim made by Representative Thomas Goshua that 14 to 15% of Liberia's 2025 budget comes from donor financing is misleading. The 2025 budget reveals that external revenue accounts for 8.6% of the 2025 approved budget, and not 14 or 15% as claimed by Representative Goshua. Some media outlets and social media posts have claimed that Steve Zago, former Commissioner General of the Liberia Immigration Service, said he was removed for refusing to arrest former Finance Minister Samuel Tuel Jr. The claim surfaced online following Mr. Zago's first radio interview after his suspension on November 13, 2024, and his subsequent replacement with Mr. Elijah F. Rufus as the new Commissioner General of the Liberia Immigration Service. We have verified this claim by analyzing the 22-minute video and found no evidence of such statement in his recent radio interview. During the interview, Mr. Zago was asked about rumors that he was removed because he had refused to arrest Samuel Tuel Jr. upon Tuel's arrival at the Liberia International Airport. The deportation of a Guinean who was reportedly killed and the misappropriation of funds at the LIS. He denied the rumors, noting that none of them were true or were the cause for his removal. He also emphasized that his suspension letter did not cite any financial misconduct. Based on these findings, we conclude that the viral reports suggesting that Mr. Steve Zago attributed his replacement at the Immigration Service to his refusal to arrest Samuel Tuel Jr. is misleading. Well, cherished listeners, this is all we have time for on this edition of the Fact Check segment. This segment is part of an MOU between local voices Liberia and OKFM, Prime FM, and Cool FM to counter this information to help the public make informed decisions. This MOU is funded by the Liberia Media Empowerment Project, implemented by Internews with funding from the European Union. The funder or partner had no say in the editorial decision leading to the production of this Fact Check segment. We will be back on Friday with more Fact Check reports to help you know the facts. But if you want us to fact check a claim for you, you can kindly send us a text through WhatsApp on 0777 556296 and we will fact check for you Also follow us on Facebook at Local Voices Liberia, on X, formerly Twitter at LVOFactCheck, or best to visit our website at www.localvoicesliberia.com. Thanks for listening. I've been your fact-checking friend Vani Kelvin Salif. Goodbye.
Goes on as well. Restricting motorcyclists. You know, we have to be mindful of some of these things when we are doing it. You know, we have to be mindful.
Basically, we said earlier on why the students they may be having a very good intent to call the government attention to their teachers. We don't think they should be politicized.
Yeah, and
for the party politics.
If you look at the call from the student, they got genuine reason, you know, to because to have the teachers pay on time or have the salary increase, these are all genuine cause. These are all genuine reason, you know. But you cannot go in a violent force or foreign manner, and you allow yourself to be used in the process. You know, to our young students, don't let politicians use you.
For the wrong reason.
For the wrong reason. You had a very good reason why you went out there yesterday. But don't forget, look at those who are inciting you. They did this very same thing to you yesterday. They beat you up yesterday, today. They're putting you in harm's way. You see, these are the kind of people that say they won't be a leader for the country. You're looking at, you know, grade school going kids and put them in such a position. Let us take into consideration, besides the people as officers, the people also are Liberian, and their fathers and mothers. They themselves got their children too. So the policeman will not stand, you go take a rap on your bed and start chunking him, and he's standing up and be looking at you and be clapping for you. Yeah. You know, the way we treat our security people in this country, we just feel they are cursed to be security men.
Very bad.
Very bad. They will tempt the people. We know at times there are some very unscrupulous or unprofessional police officers, but there are a lot of professional police officers who know it is there to protect. And the Constitution, that one mistake people keep making. There is nothing in the Constitution called protest. They say peaceful assembly. You go to assemble to raise concern to national government. There are channels, there are means. Don't let the people to politicize these things. They did the same thing with the motorcyclists today. Some of the motorcyclists now, they're suffering a pain because people sitting there making statements.
They have already spent all that money, now they should be benefiting.
Yeah.
Now they're sitting down. Only because they were able to follow folks who placed in that situation. They protest. You are right, you go protest. Now it has turned out to become a party issue.
Yeah, they turning it to be party issue. Yesterday, you beat more students for the very same thing that they wanted, because teachers were not going to classes because they said the salaries and other things were being delayed. Today now, you are using the very same student that you flogged yesterday to go against government. You got genuine cause, and it is incumbent upon you, it is your constitutional right to raise these concerns to national government, but not to be used for political reason.
Foul means, and it won't help.
It won't help.
Now some of you are the ones.
And some of you, when you get killed in the process, you get wounded, the only thing you hear on the go, they will condemn you in the strongest stand. They will not bring you back. They will not take you to hospital. They will not foot the medical bill. So don't be used in the process. You are raising concern. You can take a petition to the Minister of Education. You can take a petition to the Executive Mansion, present it,
to the president or whoever there to receive it. But to allow you to be used in the process, you take water, you put it in your bag. You take rocks, you put it in your bag. Then you go in the name. How can you be agitating for things and you go violent? The Army Wizard men are talking, his child is not even there. All of them are talking, taking all the Bayama son. None of the relatives are over there. Only you. You're calling for government attention, which is good, and we can even add our voices to it. Our government is on a full obligation to make sure that these matters are properly handled and do the needful. But everything has turned into politics.
You advocate for the teachers.
The teachers themselves are not even the ones who are advocating or going violent because they are the ones being paid. It is true that they are paid with taxpayer money to have you educated, but they are not there. You pleading up the hour report, then you stoning police, and you expect the police to be coming for you. You're going, then the people telling you, say you put racks in there. While your other friends are in school, you say you're going to protest. You have a cause to be out there, yes. Do you need to be used? And this is why we talk about the issue of having a total reform of our election law. Because so many political parties are supposed to be banned. Because once they get involved into this kind of violent posture, they should not even be seen around talking about election. That thing that took place yesterday from the CDC, there's no end about it.
No, sure. They're not helping the children.
They are not.
They're not helping the students.
They are not.
You see,
school going kids, you looking at them, you inciting them, and say, put rocks in your bed, go. Anybody staying your way? The police is there to protect the process. Once you don't come in conflict with them, they will not bother you. They will just guide you. Because there are other people who are moving from one place to another. You can't stop them because you're advocating for something. So you will deny other people of the movement. People going to work.
Ambassador recently, with these pockets of protest from the motorcyclist angle, police were brutally injured.
Sure.
So the police too, they are humans.
One of the officers up to this time, he's still fighting to recover.
They are fathers, they are mothers. So you can't, somebody, because the person wants to defend the country or protect lives and property, protecting you, then they should go home with wounds. No. And if it becomes so adamant to have to use excessive force to quench that test that's in you.
Yeah. Right after the student and the police, the confrontation, you find Aaron Wizard having press conference. Listen to him.
They made a whole political call.
Furthermore, the Youth League expresses full solidarity with the students of the Monrovia Consolidated School System, MCSS for short, who have been forced to protest due to teachers laying down the tracks over unpaid salaries. It is a disgrace that in a country where education is declared a priority, students are denied access to learning because the government cannot meet its basic obligation to educate us. This process is a proof of the Biden administration's failure to privatize
car conductor or car boy in Nigeria. It is a total historical accidental necessity. Because Liberia as a country doesn't do fact checking to make sure that individuals that sit over its institution meet all of the necessary qualifications that today a Mustafa Rajay will be president of the Liberia Federation. Reactionary Tennessee! Reactionary Tennessee! Waka! Waka! Yo! That means a Nigerian. Yo! It has been established by the TSC report of 2023 that the LFA
since the students are protesting for salaries and other things for the teachers to go back to classes, lesson stationery that you have taken to some of the NCFS schools, You wouldn't want to be in power before you make an impact.
We're talking about armchairs.
Armchairs. Oh yeah, we're going to talk now how we have made a donation. Where is it? Those are some of the things that you should be talking about doing. But other than using the students for the wrong reason, they have a probable cause to be out there to make sure they advocate for what they were advocating for the teacher, which is very much genuine. But to have turned it into something else and made the advocacy look like something was under their sleeves, you did not do good for them. You did not do good for them. Is this the kind of people who want to still lead Liberia? Because these are the very same people you'll be asking tomorrow to go and register to come vote for you. And tomorrow when they raise this thing concern, this is not just the first time. We saw this identical thing took place under the regime of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. It took place under former President George Weah. It is taking place under President Baka. Can we find a means of handling these kind of solutions, these kind of problems, other than just using our students for the wrong reason? Your parents are in the market, in other places, struggling to send you to school. And you go to school, you sit down, people call you and use you in the process. The same thing with our motorcyclists today. They don't go to the place and you sit down and say, no. When there are restrictions in all of our sister nations around West Africa, and places where you don't just see motorcycles in the middle of or in the height of the city. But because no jobs, and that's a means of having food on the table, that's a means for providing, that's a means for you, pay your taxes as well, contributing to the envelope of the country. So government give you that leverage to see, but sometimes we abuse these things.
Sure.
And we allow people to use us in the process. How can you go look at somebody who is 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, and you say, you're going to advocate, but put rocks in your bed?
But what kind of example are you setting?
What kind of example are you setting? What is that?
And those are just some of the things you see at level in University of Liberia.
Yeah.
And they're introducing those things to the children very early. Why? Yeah, now some of them are in pain. Some of them were one or other injured.
But as a police officer are standing looking at me, take right, throw me away down, sit down and clap for you. So I should carry my mat to my house for my children to be looking at me. Let's listen to them again.
People and call for the immediate.
Is operating outside of normal accounting procedure, thereby making every financial transaction and action at the LFA non in compliance with financial laws. Indicting Mr. Rajiv of multiple corruption counts and allegations.
Banga Party has all the documents in our possession.
Mr. Rajiv have not accounted for the over 58 million that has been given to football in Liberia from 2018 up to current 2024. Mr. Rajiv, quote unquote, have paraded with a disjointed argument that under his words, the LFA has a Mali headquarters. We want to inform the public that the building that Mr. Rajiv claimed to cost 1.5 million, cost 1.8 million. The party has identified a disparity of around 300,000 that Mr. Rajiv has not accounted for.
This brother is a common criminal.
This party brought that corruption that only benefit Mr. Rajiv and few individuals in the hierarchy of the LFA have come on the spotlight of the Student Unification Party. And for this reason, Mr. Rajiv must leave. Count number 3, Mr. Rajiv is in violation with the acts that created the LFA in terms of ascendancy to the presidency. Mr. Rajiv is also in conflict where the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, national nationality, and alien law that says that if you are half Liberians, you are to make public proclamation and declaration as per where you stand as an individual. Mr. Rajay.
A social society group that normally will keep government feet to the fire on some of the commitment made during the regime of former President Ellen Johnson, the regime of former President George Weah. These were the very same group of people who catalogued all of the promises, and they were able to report on some of the things that were achieved, some of the commitment, some of the promises, the number of promises. You accepted it yesterday, today now you are referring to Eddie Jabo as a Unity Party partisan. You terming him now, you terming Nabo's report that they are doing it for President Boakai to escape. Now, but you're using the students for the wrong reason. They go to advocate for what is justly theirs, and you incite them and turn them into something else. You turn motorcyclists into something else. There are a lot of professional people, a lot of good, trained, disciplined motorcyclists who are doing it because that's the means of survivability. It helps them to put food on the table. It helps them to educate themselves. It helps them to even have places of their own. And they are even contributing to the society as well. But when you start to turn them and stereotype them because you're making them look like they are only violent set of people, and some of them are falling prey to it, allowing you people to use them. And no amount of pressure can come from the CDC for government to change your mind in what government wants to do. Even if it were in the case of the CDC or ANC, Liberty Party, whatever, government policy, no opposition can change it. Government is saying we will have restriction. For public safety, the motorcycle too much into the streets. How do we handle this matter? There are other places people are running, people in Painesville, people in Johnsonville, other places. But to see how politicians will want to use the students, they want to use the motorcyclists to stir up violence in the country, it's laughable. Tomorrow when you get to power, the very same people you're trying to use today, you will not want to see them. We were here when folks went at the U.S. Embassy to carry the petition to fix the country. There were counter-protests for the Council of Patriots for the CDC. Beat on people, strip somebody naked, bust into people's homes, harass people, and all these things. We were here when the former representative Akara Greto talks. People who he should have helped to rehabilitate and have them reintegrated into society and build their capacity. He took them to the University of Liberia campus and used them as shields. They throw stone, people, valuable got missing, people's vehicle got damaged in the process. And the lumina of that institution, that's how he resorted into. We sat there, we look at all of these things. I want you to keep listening to him.
These are the truths behind labels.
Yeah.
What can beat us report? Here are the truths. One, only 5 out of the 106 promises
to the public. So the final party consider Mr. Rajay as a Nigerian on this count. That Mr. Rajay has a property value of $1 million in Nigeria. That Mr. Rajay is putting more attention to his economical affairs in Nigeria rather than Liberia. On this reason, Mr. Rajay has come in conflict with the statutes that govern the LFA, and he must leave. I want to say this to the Liberia National Legislature. Basically, the Public Account Committee, that state resources that is given to the LFA to improve football in Liberia has been not been accounted for under Mr. Rajay. As you mount all the courage to summon other government officials, mount all the courage to invite Mr. Rajay for the investigation, and you will understand that this is a mad criminal where you clothes or clean clothes all around the place. The only difference between Mr. Rajay and the Zogo on the street is that Mr. Rajay is in clean clothes and the Zogos are in dirty clothes. Mr. Rajay is no different from the Zogo on the street. I want to say this: if the football governing body think that our second assembly year today is a joke, and Mr. Rajay refused to resign as president of the Liberia Football Association going forward, there will be catastrophic pandemonium and a political revolutionary vibration that will vibrate this republic.
C'est quoi, on met la main en gouvernement for him, c'est quoi. Oh, no peace for yo.
As one for decade, it's no car in Nigeria, and it's a mad car roller in Nigeria, so will Mr. Rajay in the coming days. We can guarantee you distinguished police of the press and the Liberian public that when they were...
The Citizen Youth League is now asking that Eli Jabo should go and explain to them, because he's answerable to them. But folks, you are the judges out there. You are the ones who've been following all of the events. Let's hear from you. What's your own say into this matter? You saw the student, motorcyclists, and all of these things. The folks who are behind this thing now no longer hide themselves. They have availed themselves, condemning the number report. Let's talk to our callers on the line this morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, good morning to Mr. Bru and Mr. Van. Thank you for the talking on the discussion. I'm really disappointed in the sedition this morning, more especially the CDC party. Today they appreciate equities. Yesterday they beat people here. They beat Somali naked in live on camera. Are they forgetting? And to the students out there, just my piece of advice: do not allow politicians to use you and roast their palm. Let them use their own hand to roast their palm. Thank you.
Thank you this morning for being part of the conversation. Let's talk to other callers this morning. You're live.
Good morning to my ambassadors again. This is Pastor Moses for the second round. I want to say thank you so kindly again. You know, we say this thing over and over. Students, don't allow politicians to use guys. Some of those guys, today, they already know what we eat this morning, afternoon, evening. Some of us, our parents, even to start a day, it is not easy. Please don't allow politicians to use it for the wrongdoing. We already know that the entire protest yesterday, it was masterminded by some other folks. And today, they are revealing themselves. And we keep telling them, this country, whosoever will plot evil against this country, the evil will locate them. Because this country is the only country that we have. This country is the only country that we cannot be deported from. So whoever that plot evil against this country, whether you can be in high authority, wherever, one thing I know, your authority doesn't surpass the authority of Jesus. He is the one that gave us this country, and he will guard and protect us. Wherever anybody does wrong, we make sure we speak against it. Thank you this morning.
Thank you as well for being part of the conversation. Let's talk to other callers. You're live.
Yeah, good morning again, Weekie and
give up.
So, yeah, thank you. Just give up on the second. So Weekie, our politicians use us to get back into power. That's what they do in Liberia. Our Liberia politicians, they use us to get against the governments who can make the government look ugly, so they can come back into power and do the same thing that we say the other government are doing, and do the same thing again. Today we see having on air complaining about motorcycle, about a student, about the justice ministry ruling the one. There's a lot of cases of Bengal rule that will happen within President Weah. And what did they do? The case of Cabinet General was Bengal had that ruling. When people complain about it, they haven't written a protest by it. No, because we're in a government. So I've been with in now the next, let's say, Koji. Because for the past, I'm having a month now, and I already hear Koji speaking on protest on that. No, I think maybe he are going to say, no, somebody fasting, so he are contact more. I've been with in the Koji now. But I've been with will get his way for you. We'll get a message for you. You will not use the young people like you did before because we have started with speed. The young people, most of them, I think, they get insane. You see the protest are going now. Even when I call a meeting to your headquarters, how many people can see that? How many young people see that? Young people find something to do now. And I'm be on more all day. So yeah, I've been with that continue to make noise. It know we all want to thank you for the time.
Yeah. You know, what was wrong yesterday should not be right today. We all have problem with brutalization of our students or peaceful people who are assembled. It was wrong yesterday, and people trying it to be right. Today now they seeing it as something that is.
Ambassador, we condemn in the strongest terms.
Sure.
On a very serious note, we can continue on treating the country like this and the citizens. If the young people have a genuine call, let's support them in that line. They're making entirety political. No. And this is where.
Why would you tell students to go put racks in bed?
Yeah.
You got a genuine cause. You advocating for your teachers, which is right. Then you putting racks in bed, you putting water there, throwing it at the police officer, you expect them to be healing you.
Oh,
you see?
Morning. Morning.
Yeah, go ahead.
Weekie, how you doing, gentlemen?
You can't complain about money.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. I'm not joking. I'm calling from the area. My contribution has to do with the discussion. I want to acknowledge my brother Abby Wilson. Yesterday you were minister around here, and then a lot of things happened, and you didn't do anything. You didn't do no correction. Here you now put our children together, and you stand in front of them as an advocate now, to use them to be wounded in the process. You need to stop this. That you can't go like this all the time. The student protest to make it money. You shouldn't have, you're told the children to turn back on the police and so many people will the person and you're going to your house to go stay down. Just stop, just don't care about the country like this. We can't live in the country like this, just stop this. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well. Let's talk to other callers. You live? Let me talk to this caller on the line. You live?
Yeah, Weekie, good morning.
Yeah, David.
This is David. Once again, I join you from District 6.
Good morning, David.
Thank you. You know, sometimes the involvement of certain folks into certain struggle or endeavor can sometimes politicize or spoil the entire intent of it. Take, for example, the issue of these motorcyclists. It's a very good thing, you know, that the police put safety measures into place to be able to save people's lives and reduce the issue of accidents along the Monrovia route. But the truth is that the press conference yesterday that was held by Arvin Wiese and some other folks from the CDC will try to send a different picture. The first picture, it will appear as if to say, I don't know, I don't have, but assuming without admitting that they are the ones who sent or did not send those students to protest. But for the fact that they spoke yesterday in solidarity with the students.
Yeah, but you heard him say in solidarity with the student and that of the motorcyclist. Even you painting a different picture.
You understand? It gives a different picture, jeopardizes the chances of the motorcyclists returning to the streets because people are appealing. For example, I go to town every time, right? If you go to LIBERIA junction to get car in the morning, it can be so difficult. With the presence of the motorcyclists, it can help ease the traffic congestion and huge influx of people going to town. They can help to commute to and fro. But now, if you are saying that you're sending in solidarity with the people and just making political statements, the political people and also the professional people, including the police, will say, oh, these people are the ones supporting these people. So we will not allow them to come in the street. So the motorcyclists might have a good cause, they might have a good struggle, but you're spoiling it for the people. So sometimes you need to shut up, you need to keep quiet and allow these people to do what they are doing. The students, it is true, there is evidence that the teachers have not taken pay. Even this morning, Mr. Momo from MCSS admitted it. But when you come to say, oh, the students were talking, they were doing such a thing that disruptive, and you want to support it, you think the police will next time when they see the students, in fact, they will be weeding or cherry picking people among the students who are in color club, because they will think some of you have disguised yourselves to go there and to carry on disruptive act.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you, Dave, for being part of the conversation this morning. Let's talk to this caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Weekie.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, this is something from Red this morning. Weekie, I think we said there have been a foreign child for this country. You know that they got what spec on your LIBERIA? They got this one before HDP. They got what spec, but it's still ugly behavior they got. Why we want to take people's children and put them in the streets to go and kill the police? For what? You guys should be careful. CDC is nothing that LIBERIA is for them. LIBERIA is for every Liberian. You can't go and carry on violence. You make it the motor rider to look very ugly. Very ugly. Yesterday you put restriction on them. Today somebody want to do it, then you say no, it's not happening. Where are you coming from? We are thank for this money, man.
Thank you. Welcome. Good morning. Yeah, good morning. Go ahead.
Thank you for the help of our show. And the name release the call. Or the guy will not use you just to use now. Or level that person. But they choose to use those the artists that say the school can't even defend. Or again, you can't do it. No, it's not the kind of people and you use me for the.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. The line is not too good, but at least you made your point. Let's talk to other callers on the line this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
This is a read taking from media.
Go ahead, sir.
You know, I want to say something to him. One woman does not want to that. Equally so, they are proven to be the ones that have been putting people on in protest. Former President William better advised. And those of you who also know me, I'm a bad speaker as well. While I'm on the situation, you got that from MPP. So, upper MPP as well. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, you're welcome. And you know, we need to find means of handling some of these matters amicably, resolving some of these things that our people get paid for the work that they do. But we get not turning it around and make it look.
Ambassador, you know, the tendency of Liberia, when the government come to power, everybody threw all of the burden on the government and other institutions that are government waiting, just sit back and does nothing. If the CDC is highly interested in the case, they should be helping the children in the right way. Why are you not finding means that you can help them call government attention that they can be able to pay the teachers instead of teaching them the wrong way? You put them back in their bags. That they must go soon policemen.
Yeah, because tomorrow now when the police get any information that there will be a protest from students, who knows how the kind of posture the police might go, the put up, because they might be expecting a response from the students.
Yeah.
And they might just be the first to attack.
Anything you talk about, it happened during your regime. Yeah. So why you come back again as a ruling party and you have a shortfall in paying your teachers or having a huge amount for their teachers? What will you do? Should they get on the street of racking?
Do you know how many times in the regular Liberia teachers, lecturers, and other people put down their trucks?
You see, let me solve problems.
You got one of your stalwart of the party that took talks and went on the University of Liberia campus, beat on people.
Yeah.
These were issues that we all condemned yesterday. Nobody said, hey,
why would I help you to change the narrative?
How are we going to change it? You can engage government constructively. Who told you when in opposition, anything you do, what there is just to condemn inside.
They are government waiting. They also have a responsibility towards their citizens.
You don't know tomorrow you could return to power. The same thing happened with the United Party. They were here for 12 years. They left you king. Today they are back. You go back in the opposition. The possibility and the chances are there that tomorrow you will come again. Once you get the right thing done.
You see? We're not having that country here. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Election time, all the program party will flood around here, they won't be president.
Yeah.
But as soon as election is over, all of them they go dead. Even clean, safe drinking water for the community, they can provide it for them. But they will wait, election time, they start doing handout.
The people who even got the problem not even advocating for themselves. They are taking their slow action while the students being affected, and they went out there to raise the concern to government. Then you went in, then you went between them, incited them, say you put rocks, you put water, you throw it at them. So the picture can be, oh, the police brutality. No, it can't work. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, bro.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for this discussion this morning. Yeah, my saying is that I'm hearing people that are having witness saying put students to protest, so the students don't get a right to protest. So the students don't get a right to protest, and somebody will go saying the students say, oh, y'all go protest. Y'all got to be fair to the Liberian people, man. Okay. I want you people to.
You don't even know what you want.
You don't even understand the
conversation. If you understand the conversation, you will not have called out your ignorance. Good morning. We are discussing something that the student got genuine cause and reason to have a SAMO yesterday, but not to be in a violent posture. You listen to the press conference, it clearly tells you who incited those students, who behind it. The same thing with the motorcyclists. You think that all of the motorcyclists are violent set of people? They are not. There are some very disciplined, decent motorcyclists that when you sit on the back or even keke rider, you can have a very good conversation. Some of them people are highly educated, they are family heads, and they are making meaningful contribution to the growth and development of our country.
Let's talk to other callers.
You like?
Good morning. I'm Jerome. Listening to you guys this morning, it make a big sense. And you know, yesterday the whole situation was like actually mastermind, because if you as a student you are going to actually learn, you are not going to go to the step. Now the guys procedure in going after that if the teachers are not taking pay. Yes, because you have DEO, you have CEO, so it's another issue. Because they actually carry to the board, and you understand the.
Are you there? The thing is, when you see the students going out there, mean that they solve all other means.
Yeah.
And say they're not getting redress. What did the school teachers or the principal were not there?
And this is a matter that should claim the attention of all of us in talking to government for government to see reason and see the need to make sure that government can actually pay attention to some of the concern raised. And not just to downplay it. But if the students will be incited, used for the wrong reason, then we say no to that. Because that's not advocacy there. You can't put a violent posture in a name that you're advocating. Let's talk to us. Morning.
Morning, Chief. How you doing?
What morning us?
Yeah, thank you for the show, man. Student Fabra, calling from Pinsgate. So I only want to ask, having we said when they started protesting for salary here, or taking 2 months to pay 1 month, that today you want to insert people against government? Yeah, thank you for the show, man. Your positions in there, he said he gets sense. The position in there.
Thank you. Let's talk to other callers. You live.
Good morning, Weekie.
Move away from your radio, please.
Listen, Mr. Sakos.
see this multi-stakeholder issue in the country.
Move away from your radio. I won't cut you off. Let me talk to other callers who must prepare. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm on the line. I play from there. My name is Jacinta Fumi from HP number 2, Peace Island. So thank you for your 30 prayer. See the whole thing, I was saying, students, please try to make your own decision. Stop allowing politicians to use your hand and rule their family. And cities still are asking for salary days that they are paying people after every 6 months. That they don't want. When you come with equities, you must come with clean hands. Thank you, yeah, brother. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's talk to other callers. Good morning.
Good morning, Willie Brooks.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, my name is Malcolm Mori calling from Matinga Police.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, bro. Okay, thanks for the last segment this morning. You know that about people complaining. That be serious here. You came with you say you want to do protest. Everybody knows protest is allowed in every country. But if you try to do simple, peaceful protest, go in a peaceful manner. You can't go, you say going to peaceful protest, then you carry on, you got racks and things in your bed. We see the police are not animals. The police, they are not, robot or what? Not robot. So you expecting you go to protest, then you taking rag, you throw a rag at the police. Then what do you expect the police to do? The end of the day, get another police guy hide down there. We are coming with carrying take all the bills there. That be serious on it. You can go, you can do your protest in a peaceful manner with you. When the government will come in, they will say representative and go and receive your petition, and then they can see how best they can understand it. But you go there, you put in roadblocks on the road. You the other people who are activities you put in stop to. So because of government, you in school, so other people are going to work, other people got business to go wrong. So we should stay home. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. As well this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Bishop.
My name is Bishop. I'll call you. Let me do things this morning. I want to hear with you issues that are discussing. You know, when you look at the issue involving agriculture, the Nigerian people are aware of the role they play in the country and taking the measure for this tension. The question now is, do we actually love this country? What was the recent role that you think that brought dividends to the agricultural sector that our farmers are benefiting from? And the students in their own capacity, it's their right to petition the House for issue affecting them. But the problem is, while the Army leader go and mobilize those students, he prepared their mind for violence. Imagine for the educated school, they are rank for being built to them. These are some of the things he said. The vocational school they built at the CDC party headquarters, they did not put up any good results, but rather he put up thousands of students who were trained to turn rat. They received certificate in talking rat. That's the only reason why that local education was built. And today you see the result, the students coming on the street and it became violent, heavily supported by the CDC. The Liberian people are aware. Secondly, the team passes at the legislators. They almost let students went to school and everyone appeared their students and they decided to vote for the class prefect. It is in their first view they say to them, we don't need you as our class prefect. They require the minister of education to carry to anything involved in the class. At the legislature, there are two things involved. You have the judicial role there, and the role is exactly what the law says when one sees that human rights is being violated. The other aspect has to do with the political staff that has to do with the lawmaker electing who will lead them. They voted for the speaker, and they say they don't want the speaker. The Supreme Court can't say nothing around. So nobody should be sitting up there thinking that any ruling from the Supreme Court will change because over will come by this speaker. The budget law is running. The speaker who was now a speaker, the chief justice and associate justices should not be receiving their pay. Lastly, the 2000 involving the ECOWAS delegation. So our listener will not follow speaker who were only responding to them in a sense where when he wrote ECOWAS, informing ECOWAS that what was not done properly was not done at all. Before a lawmaker gets elected to the Liberian legislature, he must be elected Now the same politics before you go to ECOWAS, you also be elected by your foreign union to go and represent your country. You can now walk on your country and say, I represent ECOWAS, anybody come from anywhere, when you come from a country, you visit on ECOWAS, they will hold you and nobody can move you. No.
Okay, thank you. Thank you this morning for being part of the conversation. Let's talk to the callers on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, Weekie.
Good morning.
Thank you, Weekie. Good morning to Nath as well. And good morning to the great people of Painesville. Nath, there is the voice of Samuel Sakara Johnson. I speak to you from Painesville this morning. And let me appreciate both of you for the analysis made this morning. Look, Weekie, we got to be very clear. And nobody at this point in time in our country, we should not allow political actors to keep prominent at the detriment of the suffering masses and the suffering students of our country. Look, all of us today condemn the brutalization and the tear gassing of our students by the Parker-led administration of the Unity Party. It is absolutely condemnable. It is unacceptable, and we must not do it in the democratic process of a country like Liberia. But again, on the other hand,
are you there? Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, go ahead. No, you want a very bad line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, sir.
Good morning again, Nath.
Go ahead.
I'm here calling from West Point. I just want to say this to a student. Sorry first. What happened to you yesterday? Well, again, every mistake must be a lesson to you. These people that are putting you on the street. If you want to do something for yourself, even you can go to the radio station to get your placard. The radio station will proof it, they will announce it all. When that's something that the government could have handled, the government will hear your placard, your information from the radio station. But then things are going on after we said that when you were there, that the same thing they were doing, but now he said it's wrong. He putting people all on the street to protest. It's not good. People training to send a children to school, but then they are there disturbing the student mind for them to go on the street. Government, nothing about government. Government are people that own country, that own power. So if you say you want to compare yourself with government, you're wasting your own time. So after we said that, let us sit down. We know what to do. Let us sit down. Let us sit down. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let's talk to other callers. You're live.
Yeah, good morning, Weekie Bro, and good morning to you, Nagana B. Vaccine.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, my name is Peter today, continue as radio member. Still good. Yeah, I just don't have a project yesterday. So the foreign teacher for a salary on pay, or the foreign teacher, they only foreign teacher because most of the teachers they get school to teach. Some of them get 5, 6, 7 school to teach. And they teach all the school, the government pay teachers. See, the teachers are not going to be evil, they protect. But the teachers, they say that somebody high and said, then they protect not evil to go and take a bullet. And you can be going to go protect at the go self until the teacher get it right. You can people and someone now to go and be violent. So if people and someone because on law, they wear a restaurant and another won't begin from there. So you can't go and call on somebody on a bank. You have to stop your limit. But they put it too mature because if they put it going to use force again or going to say, oh, the police brutality and start beating on students. And by the students too, you go there to go learn. You not go there to go be used by politicians because politicians always use students and they will use you at the end, they move up behind you. At the end, the government only say condemn that act that was done by the people who condemn the act. They now want to do more people. So they don't want that financing problem. So the teacher and most of them get more school to teach. Some of them teaching government school, capital school. They will get 4 people, 7 people, they move on. So they join the other side, stay some. After they collect all that money and everything, they only say, oh, the government pay. But you're not getting one day, they say, oh, all the teachers protecting today for the government pay. But the government always pay them for the primary. No teacher on pay, they will go over airport to come here in the classroom. When I have been in the car, the airport do not on pay, but waiting for that money to pay, say, the other man, sorry. So you don't be doing airport job, they are the airport, you must go train the script to go.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, you're welcome.
Good morning. Is this phone? Who FN?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Bruce, concerning the protest yesterday, this protest, once you are peaceful, no police will fire at you. What we experienced yesterday was, and then we are very civil, but they got all the plastic rule. If you protest, I have my own right to movement. It was just yesterday. More besides, people there have so in their beds. Okay, the protest yesterday was politically motivated, but there's still some politicians around here because they feel that they lose power and they want to induce or encourage the students to do the wrong thing. I mean, it's a caveat to liberate people. Those who are better by state power, they feel. There's no space in our political dispensation. So thank you so much.
Thank you as well for being part of the conversation, and that's how we draw the curtains on this presentation this morning, on this edition of the Morning Ride. Many thanks for all of you for watching us, leaving your comments, as well as sharing as well. On behalf of the team, I'm Weekie Brooks.
I'm Nathaniel Farr.
Nicholas Barkley been the man behind the camera this morning.
South African students struggle for fundamental change in sport in South Africa. When the courageous militants in Tunisia struggle for the effective change in football in Tunisia, we too will struggle for the improvement of football in Liberia. Football is becoming the highest attraction of young people that want to advance their career. Let us say this, Mr. Pointer's government is not improving anywhere, and most of the young people are looking up to football. You cannot be improved, you cannot underperform in governance and where the young people are devouring their attention and you are there misbehaving. We are saying this to you, and we want to be clear on the record. Mr. Rade has an ultimatum of 72 hours to resign. If he cannot resign in these 72 hours, the Student Unification Party going forward will